Hello, everyone. Welcome to our special pre-Halloween celebration. We are celebrating Halloween the whole month of October. Yes, especially on the day, but the whole month. The whole month is a Halloween celebration.
Oh yeah.
So tonight we have myself, Kay Blythe, the Fifth Wall, Jade Astral of the Fifth Wall, and Desiree of Tempered Drinks. And we are recording this episode special for My Sister's Magazine October issue. So if you missed this live video, you can find this episode in My Sister's Magazine. This is special for their October issue, and we wanted to go ahead and start celebrating Halloween now. It's a month-long celebration for us. It's our favorite holiday, if you haven't guessed.
Yeah, gotta get the best of it.
Desiree, can you go ahead and give us our drink ingredients so that they can prepare?
So tonight's drink is a special signature drink. When I thought about this, it was because we are doing this issue for My Sister's Mag. And when I think of sitting down in the fall, pulling up a magazine and just reading through and being comfortable, you want something that's going to be a good little sip to go with that. So this drink I call the Cozy Pumpkin. And it has Jim Beam rye whiskey in it. This is the brand I chose. Y'all know I'm never gonna tell you can't use whatever brand you like. It also has a pumpkin spice cordial. This I ordered offline actually. You can make your own cordial. You can purchase it in a liquor store, but this brand I ordered offline. It also has maple syrup and a little bit of Angostura bitters. When I thought about it,
So we'll get to that in just a second. So tonight we will be discussing how our love for horror led us to be Halloween fanatics because they go they go hand in hand. The costumes, the candy, the horror movies, haunted houses, trick-or-treating,
Terrorizing people.
yes,
my favorite
tricks.
Oh yeah.
Especially the tricks.
Oh yeah.
So that's what we kind of want to discuss, like our Halloween and horror fandom. And pretty much up until this age, we've pretty much been Halloween freaks. And it's just pretty much a whole manifestation of our love for horror. And we are also going to spotlight our favorite black female in a horror role and some of our favorite horror movies. So you definitely want to tune in to that. We got some good picks tonight. So before we get to running our mouths and sipping, let's get this drink.
Please, Desiree.
Here we go. I am starting with my mixing glass tonight. This one I'm doing a little bit different because we have the maple syrup in it. I am not going to pour that over the ice, but I have ice in my shaker. So we're doing a 1/4 ounce of maple syrup. You want to throw that in the bottom of your glass because you want to make sure that's going to mix well. Yes, I know it's going to be hard to pour. You'll be all right. We are also doing 2 ounces of that Jim Beam rye whiskey. I have another 1/4 of an ounce of my pumpkin cordial. And just a dash of Angostura bitters. Just a dash because we don't want this to be too sweet. All right. So we are going to go ahead and shake this. There's just a little ice in here. Because it's whiskey, I don't want to dilute it too much. And we are actually going to double strain this because of the maple syrup. So I got my little strainer.
This is
Strain that on it. And I know what you guys are thinking, like, that ain't a whole lot in that big old skull. Normally, you would make this in a rocks glass or a, short glass. But I like my skull, so that's why it's in the skull today. But normally, it's in a little short rocks glass, and you can use an ice mold, just a solid piece of ice to keep this cool, and that's all you need. But it's a good cozy up, read me a book, magazine type of drink.
Put mine in a little coffee
October,
mug.
fall weather-ish
You know, pumpkin for the basics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got my little Halloween glass to match my outfit. Which way to the wine? This is, but got a little something else different today.
So I know, Kate, while you were talking about how we were gonna jump into what made us fall in love with Halloween.
Hmm.
Um, I want to say, like, with my parents growing up in a Christian household, my mother was adamant that we were not gonna celebrate the Devil's Day.
Really?
My
Um,
grandma too.
so my
Really?
my grandmother actually was the one that was like, bring them youngins over here so they can get some candy and treats at least. And so we would end up going to grandma's house getting like candy apples, cupcakes, popcorn balls, stuff that she took time to make that day. And then my auntie, like one of my aunties, would come pick us up and take us to a block party that was like in the next neighborhood that they would have annually. And so, like, what made me fall in love with Halloween was just the midst of all of that, like, kind of being rebellious. And I had family members that was helping me out, like, still celebrate Halloween, even though my parents didn't want me to. I could dress up as whoever I wanted to be or whatever I wanted to be and not actually be judged for or either be called weird. Um, because I was that kid that would be in my bedroom seriously with whatever I could, like baby powder or paint, just doing different things on my face. Like I was bored. I was in the country. I ain't had nothing else to do. So like,
Halloween makeup popping.
oh yeah, had to keep it popping, even though I couldn't go around and trick or treat. So those were like all the things balled up in one that kind of like grew my love for it. Like the
Well,
little
see,
piece of being rebellious on top of dressing up and just the sweets.
my mom was different because my mom loves horror movies and she's a Halloween fanatic. So we always celebrated Halloween in my house. My dad, not so much. He was never into like horror movies and all of that, but my mom, definitely a big horror fan. So trick or treating every year, yes. Costumes, candy every year, yes. Watching horror movies and Fear Fest and Halloween every year, yes. My mom decorates the house for Halloween, which I'm going to do probably this weekend is decorate because I already got my decorations, but my husband said don't put them out till October.
I mean, October is literally like what? How many more days?
Right. So I'm about to get it popping with these Halloween decorations, but it's always everything about it. I love candy. I love dressing up in costumes, and I especially love horror movies. Like this is my favorite holiday, and a lot of people, especially us, y'all know how we are. They look at me crazy
Sip
when
my
I'm
drink.
like they look at you when I'm like, Halloween is my favorite holiday, and they're like,
She's weird.
yeah, like I don't, when they're like, oh, I don't really like that holiday, or I'm not into Halloween like that, or I don't really celebrate Halloween, and in my mind, I'm just like, so you missing all of this goodness and fun, you know?
Right,
And my
right.
3-year old, she is, last year was her first year going trick or treating, and she never stopped talking about it. Like she
Oh,
can't
Was it the candy or the people?
everything because there's a park here that does like they have like different vendors and businesses, so you can literally go trick-or-treating at the park and get tons of candy at the park. And she loved it. Like she had her Halloween costume picked out last month. She was like, I want to
Oh,
be a princess and I want to be Cinderella for Halloween and I want to go
I
trick-or-treating.
I will say, Kate Block, I really like how you were showing her that we are also princesses, and you showed her the version of Brandy,
Yep.
and who was the other version that you showed her for Cinderella?
um Kiki Palmer. She did,
Okay,
yep, she did Cinderella on
sure
Broadway.
did.
Yep, and Brandy did it in the film. I think that came out in what, 96, 97. So when she
yeah,
was like, I want to be a princess and I want to be Cinderella, and I'm like, you can be Cinderella.
you
Here you
sure
go, right
can.
here. And that's the only Cinderella that she knows is like Brandy and Kiki Palmer. And I'm like, she likes Halloween. And she has 2 different Cinderella dresses, one to wear to school Halloween party, and then one to go trick or treating.
Oh, she better show out.
She gonna destroy it, girl. But I think that's the best part of Halloween.
Yeah, we go hard for. My mom is actually the one who bought me this glass.
I don't know. I had the same problem growing up that Jade Astro had with my grandma. She wasn't big on Halloween, but and I spent most of my time with her. So when I got older, I think that's why I was like head first, dive in. I go hard on Halloween. I love the dressing up. I love the costumes, and that you can be whoever you want to be on that day. And then the people's creativity come out at Halloween. But I am definitely going to be the little old lady who decks her yard out in the creepiest way possible. Not the nice, friendly, oh, welcome the children to the yard. But the witch hiding in the bushes and I'm scaring you before you get your candy type of person. That's probably going to be me when I get older.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You know, I'm trying to be like kid friendly, right now. But when I get older, and then when Trinity gets older and she can help me like decorate it to be like really spooky. So I'm like waiting for that day. I'm trying to be like, hey, it's fun now. And then it'll probably get real creepy later on.
I'm gonna say give her about like 1 or 2 more years, because honestly, like I love that part too, the thrill and the adrenaline rush, like the haunted houses and just the like terrorizing people.
That's the fun part.
Yes.
So let's get into our favorite black girl in a horror movie, because we have some really good choices tonight. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about these ladies. So I picked Rachel True in The Craft. Her role was very like significant to me. Like that's one of like the movie was about like these teenage witches in high school. They were like a group of like the outcast people, and like the goth girl or the girl that people didn't think was pretty, and then the black chick, like the outcast group, and then like the new girl who has nobody to talk to. They kind of just like pulled her in. But Rachel True played Rochelle in the movie. And I like that they include, because anytime I feel like when you add black people in movies, and when we have black horror movies, you can't omit the fact that we come with cultural and social economical issues. You know what I mean? There's just stuff that comes with blackness. And in The Craft, she kind of faced some racism from a girl on the swim team who was like blatantly prejudiced and blatantly, was, splurting out racist remarks and always kind of like just being real snide and smirky with her. And of course, her being a witch cast a spell on the other girl, which I wasn't mad at, and the girl's hair started falling out. And I mean that she brought that on herself.
But what you put out, you get back tenfold. So you gotta be careful what you put upon people, whether if you think they deserve it or not. You're not God, so you gotta be careful. And she learned that lesson. Didn't her hair and stuff start falling out?
Yep, and it did come back on her, and her hair did start falling out. So it's kind of like, stuck between a rock and a hard place, because even though she did want to get revenge on this girl for being racist, you got to be careful what kind of karma that you put out there, because it did come back to her. And also, she was part of one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when they did the levitation scene and they had her floating in the air. That like really tripped me out when I first saw that. This movie came out in what, like 96, 97-ish? Yeah, and watching this, and I'm like, they got this black girl like levitating.
No, the fact that she let them do it, like I would have been the one like, you go first.
I walk around the house going light as a feather, stiff as a board. I was trying to get.
Exactly. I know. I'm like with my little friends, like, let me see if we can. If I'm trying to float too. If she can float and levitate in the air, I can do it too.
They could have had y'all just a conjuring something up, you wouldn't even know it.
And one care. We were trying to float.
Right.
Trying to float. You trying to be with Pennywise, ain't it? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I know you can't stand that clown, girl.
Gonna give Desiree some nightmares.
Okay, let me not bring him up no more.
Right.
Look, because I struggled through that movie now.
Oh, and yes, and she survived. You know, we didn't often see a lot of Black people in horror movies that made it to the end, but she made it to the end, y'all.
Yeah, and she also learned her lesson. I think that's what helped her make it to the end.
Mm-hmm. She was very, but you know, she came to her senses. Like, don't push people so far to the edge that you get burnt too.
Okay, and don't think you have control over people and their destiny.
Yes. So yeah, that was my pick.
Okay, my pick was actually Jada Pinkett and Tales from the Crypt's Demon Knight.
One of my favorites.
Go back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I really enjoyed seeing Jada Pinkett in this film because I was already a fan of Tales from the Crypt. So when I saw it, I was super excited because I'm not used to seeing her in horror. I'm used to seeing her like Set It Off, Low Down Dirty Shame,
Lena James.
you know, that type of Jada Pinkett. So seeing her character involved and watching her as a actress, like that just got me so excited. And then I know I was young, but at the same time, I'll be honest, she kept her sex appeal the entire movie with the blood, the sweat, the demons, everything. She held it down.
She still look good.
Still was looking good. But what I really liked about the movie and the character that she played is the fact that she ended up becoming the hero. There was a guardian that was protecting a key that would release evil into the world. So you had a demon that was out trying to conquer and get this key, and like Jada Pinkett became the guardian of the key. And in the beginning, you can see that she was struggling, just trying to survive, when in the end, she survived and became the hero. So now she's the guardian of the key. And that just, I really, really enjoyed seeing her in that movie. So she's my favorite.
Yes, that's one of my favorites too. And she survived till the end, y'all.
I know.
For those of y'all who think that, you know, Black people always die in the beginning, Jada Pinkett made it till the end.
I used to. But I think all of our ladies actually survived to the end. My favorite is actually a newcomer. Shahadi Wright Joseph is a young lady who was in the movie Us.
Yeah.
She is the daughter, so Lupita's daughter. And she played Zora Wilson, and she also played Umbre, who was the tethered version of herself, which is mainly why I liked her role so much, because she played two roles and she played them well.
Yes.
And she was a G in this movie. Like, in the beginning, of course, you know, everybody was scared. If you have not seen Us, I'm finna spoil it for you. The tethered come for them at their home, and everybody looking shook because they're like, oh my God, this is us looking at me in my face, and they finna kill us. They telling me right now they finna take us out.
Yep.
And my favorite part was when Lupita, well, not the mom Lupita, the tethered Lupita looks at her and goes, little girl, run. Because at the beginning, she said she was tired of track and field. She didn't want to run no more. So to me, that was like, okay, we beating fears, number one, with the running. But then her tether came and was like, okay, we finna get started. She gave old girl a head start and still caught her. So I was like, oh, it gets real. But throughout the movie, you expect the children to be scared and hiding, and she stepped up. Like, she went back in the house to save her mom. And then when she killed herself, she stood there and looked at, like, oh, that's me in the tree. And Lupita was looking at her. She did. She was just like, We did it, okay. And Lupita looking sad, like, oh, but she was just looking at the car, like, all right, one down.
Yep, did
So
what you
I
had to
think
do.
she was a really strong, youthful role in that movie, and she survived. But she was my favorite.
And they also used a dark skinned black girl in the
Yeah.
movie,
So
which
beautiful.
yes, in a lot of horror movies you don't see that, especially like with the children or the teens and stuff. They always, opt for the lighter skinned girl or the mixed girl, but they kept her, in her wonderful chocolatey skin, and she was
Yes.
great. She was great
She
in that
played that
movie.
role.
Yeah, and
And
like you said,
she's also the voice for Nala in the new Lion King movie, so she is boosting her career right now.
What?
yeah.
Well, congratulations. I did not know that.
Go girl. Throw your little black
Okay.
magic all out there in Hollywood. We see you. Yes, I would also like to do, an honorable mention shout out for Sanaa Lathan in Alien versus Predator, who lived.
Dang,
Okay.
I forget about that one.
Yep, that she be sliding through the cracks, but she made it out. Our girl Brandy survived, and I still know what you did last summer. I used to
And she was
love
a
that
G.
movie. I I don't know why, but I used to love that movie when I was younger. And
I'm gonna be honest, that movie to me, it was not scary to me.
but
Like,
I liked it.
It was corny, suspenseful.
yes, and I
Yeah.
think the reason why I felt that way because it's like, really, after Scream, here you come. Like,
I don't know
I already
why.
kind of know.
I don't know. I like that movie. Who else?
I'm trying
Rod
to. What
Digger.
was the older lady's name? I've been trying to figure it out. I need to look it up. What was the older lady's name that was in Demon Knight?
I cannot think, but I can picture her because she was a bit of a G too.
Oh yeah, she was in plenty of other movies. Matter of fact, I'm gonna figure this out.
But yeah,
Right.
Rod Digger, she survived in 13 Ghosts.
13 Ghosts.
She
That
got
was
on my nerves. Oh my God.
Why? Because she was trying to tell these folks that they was crazy for fooling around in this house.
Cause she was hollering. I was so tired of her hollering.
But they should have listened to her. But she did live, y'all. They did not kill her off,
live.
even though she was scared the whole movie. She
Did
was not,
live.
and she was not trying to be the hero. She was literally trying to save her ass.
Who survived? Y'all go over there. I'm gonna be over here.
Yep.
The lady's name that I'm speaking of, her name is Carol Punder.
Mm.
They break her name down to CCH Punder, but that's her name.
Oh yeah, she was a G in that movie
Oh
too.
yeah.
She wasn't going down without a fight.
I'm talking about lost an arm and everything and kept it going.
Mm.
When you
I'm
that
looking
old,
at
you
her
gotta figure out.
looking at her track record. She was on Orphan,
The movie?
the movie. Like I'm looking at it right now. What all she's been on? She's was on Avatar, Orphan, Face Off, and RoboCop.
Okay, so she liked the horror sci-fi genre.
Yeah.
Okay, girl.
I can't remember her in Orphan, and I like that raggedy movie.
Do you think that she was one of the caseworkers or something? Because she wasn't. She couldn't have been a main actress.
Oh, you know what? Wasn't she from the church that came out to the house?
I think so. Yeah, she was one of the ones that was trying to check up on, you know, how the new family situation in life was going. Yeah, I just couldn't picture her face, but now I know what her role was in that movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, she liked this kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah. So we're not alone.
Yes. Shout out again to My Sisters Magazine. It is an online magazine. Look them up. They are on Facebook. Like their Facebook page. Like them on Instagram. My Sisters Magazine. It is an online magazine. Subscribe. This episode will be in there for the October issue. So if you don't catch it tonight, find it in My Sisters Magazine in October. I think it comes out next week, actually. So we can't wait. We're excited for this
Yes.
magazine
Yes.
to grow and flourish and keep supporting Black girl magic and letting
Right.
Black girls do what we do and shine in all of our expertise and areas and, the different things that we do, and letting us kind of go ahead and get our pre-Halloween celebration together. Follow
Right.
us on Facebook at The Fifth Wall, The Fifth Column, Tempered Drinks. Join our Facebook group. Horror and
Yes.
Hooch. It's going to be
We
popping.
have a good time in the group, y'all.
Yes, it is a fun group, I guarantee you. And especially for October, while we're celebrating Halloween, it's going to be craziness on our page.
It's lit.
Halloween fans, horror fans, come on. Join Horror and Hooch Facebook group. We're also on Instagram at The Fifth Wall, Fifth Column, and Tempered Drinks. Also follow My Sister's Magazine on all platforms so you can catch this episode and everything else they have going. It's a wonderful magazine, y'all. It's very informative, very helpful. I love what
And
you
inspirational.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
like
inspirational. I
a
really
lot
love
of women doing great things.
Yes. And we will be back at our regular scheduled time next Friday, 8:30, so we can start kicking off our Fear Fest and talking about our favorite masters of horror: Wes Craven, Stephen King, John Carpenter,
Guillermo del Toro.
Yep, Guillermo del Toro. All of our
What about the
masters.
cute ones like Tim Burton?
Tim Burton, does he count as horror? He kind of all over everything.
Well,
Yes,
it's kind of, well,
yes, Tim Burton did a movie that I was watching last week that I didn't even know he did. But it was a
what would we
horror movie.
consider it then? Just like being like goth and emo? Like, I always consider it hard because of like what he was, the content.
Everything is pretty dark. You're right. We'll go with horror. We
Yes.
give Tim Burton horror.
Yes. Didn't he do Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, we count Tim Burton. So yeah, we're going to kick off Fear Fest and talk about all our favorite movies that are spawning from the Masters of Horror and that you can catch all month long in October. So we will be back regular schedule next Friday, 8:30.
8:30.
Celebrate all month long with us. We're already celebrating. Okay, we're gonna look like
Oh,
this
yeah.
all month.
All
We're gonna look
month
like
long.
this all month. It is what it is. Halloween glasses, Halloween drinks, all month long.
Take
So,
Santa Claus.
if you missed this live feed, My Sister's Magazine, next issue this October. So you guys have a good night, and we will see you all
Bye.
next Friday.
See you later,
Y'all ain't
boo.
Drink responsibly.
Please do.